Welcome back to all of my recipes. Today we're going to do a honey garlic salmon dinner. And first things first, I'm going to be using Jasmine rice, and I'm using 2 scoops today just so I have a little bit of leftovers for myself. So what I'm doing here is I'm agitating the rice. You can see the water's kind of cloudy. We want to do this until the water comes out clear. It takes me probably about 3 goes, but I'm not using much rice, so it might take you a little bit more depending on how much rice you want to use. Now, a good way to know that you're done is you can see here, you can see the rice through the water pretty well with less cloudiness. Drain that water and then we'll work on the next step. Add some salt to it, because you always have to salt your rice. And then you're going to add water to it. Now the best way to measure out the water, and this is a little insider trick, is you put the water into the rice, obviously, and you want the top of your finger to hit the rice, and then that first joint at the top of your finger, using your index of course, is going to be your measurement line for your water. You can go ahead and put it in your rice cooker. If you have a white rice setting, go ahead and use that. If you're using an Instant Pot, just go ahead and do the rice setting. Pretty much whatever way you think is easiest for you to make rice, go ahead and do that. So now I'm moving on to the corn. This is frozen corn, but I went ahead and ran it under some water to defrost, and then I strained it, and now I'm adding olive oil and salt, and I'm tossing that together. Then I'm gonna place it in a pan in an oven at 350 and make roasted corn. You want it to be like a golden brown. Should take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so now I'm working on the garlic. What you want to do is smash that down, and you want the kind of butt end to hit your palm, and then the rest of it to face down on the cutting board. You smash it down, and then you're able to separate the cloves from the basic amount of all that skin that you see there. And then you're going to press on each garlic clove with the knife, and that will kind of loosen the garlic from the skin of it. And cut it up a little bit in like a rough mince. Then as you can see, I'm dragging the knife over the minced stuff, and that kind of makes it a little bit smaller and almost finer. I chopped it up a little bit more afterward for good measure. Now here I have the salmon, and I'm just kind of making 2 pieces out of it. I like to go by the 4-finger rule, or at least, you can put your whole hand if you have a small one like myself, and you just kind of cut that in half. As you can see, where it was thinner and where it was thicker, you kind of want to separate those. The thinner end is going to cook a little bit faster, so you know that that piece will cook sooner, and then the fatter piece is going to take a little longer. And then here, Mama's going to make her a little mixed drink. As you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of gin, and okay, maybe I'm going to add a little bit more gin. And what I'm going to go ahead and do here is just mix it with some ginger beer. Really simple drink. If you have a tall glass like mine, it actually fits the whole bottle of ginger beer. So that's the drink I'm making myself while I'm cooking. Baby, don't So the corn is done at this point, and I'm just kind of scraping it out of the pan. As you can see, it's a little golden brown. I'm just tossing that in a mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add a little heat to it. I like sambal, so I'm going to mix the corn in with that just to add a little bit of flavor to the rice bowl with the salmon. You can, if you want a little spicy but not quite as spicy, is you can add a little chili flake, little red chili flake in there. And if that is even too hot for you, just put some pepper. Now I'm getting my pan going to make the honey garlic sauce. I've got a little bit of butter in there. I would say if we're really going to measure it out, it's probably about a tablespoon worth of butter. And then you put your minced garlic from earlier in there, and you're going to just saute that up basically until it's kind of a golden brown color. We like that color in cooking, by the way. And so You're just gonna do this for a while. Make sure you stir it so that it comes out kind of evenly. If you don't stir it, you're gonna get some spots that are a little more done than others, and you don't want to have burnt garlic in your sauce. We're gonna take a look at the garlic. You can see it's a little golden brown. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is add the remainder of the ingredients. So I'm adding some honey. I would say that's probably about 2 tablespoons worth of honey. And then I'm gonna add some soy sauce. We got like a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then I'm adding a little bit of lemon juice. This is probably about, I would say, half a tablespoon, if not about 2 teaspoons worth. And then some paprika was that last little bit there. And the paprika is just for a little bit of flavor, a little bit of heat, but it's very, very mild. Once everything's mixed in, go ahead and just turn off the heat and just stir the sauce a little bit more so that it doesn't kind of burn to the pan or anything. Then I'm getting the salmon seared up here. As you can tell, I'm adding some olive oil to the pan, and I'm just kind of swirl it around in the pan until it coats the whole thing. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to sear both sides of the salmon. Once that's all seared up, we're gonna put the sauce on top of each one. I have a pan that I'm gonna put them in and then pop them in the oven. I have the oven at 350, and we're just gonna leave those in there for a few minutes just to kind of finish cooking the inside and to kind of get the sauce to kind of crisp up around the salmon itself. And that's pretty much it. And you'll see the plating here towards the end.
I like the way you work it, no diggity, I gotta bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity, I gotta bag it up.
Once everything's done, you can see I have the bowls set out here. Got the rice, and I'm putting a little furikake on it, which is basically like a Japanese rice seasoning, which has sesame seeds and nori, which is the seaweed. It's a mix. You just put that on top of your rice, and then I'm putting down some spinach. Now I'm doing fresh spinach, not frozen, not sauteed, mainly because the heat from the rice and the salmon is enough for me. I'm not a big fan of slimy spinach. So then I add my corn next to that.
The word spins the bird, love is it curves so frequent. Man, that girl look good.
With the salmon over the corn and off to the side of the spinach just a little bit. A little bit of fried onions on top. Now you can buy this at the store, or you can make it yourself if you want to make it. I have the recipe in the description down below. And I will also add the full recipe for this dish down below as well.
I gotta bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity.
Please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to making you more videos in the future.
I gotta bag it up.